Hi everyone, this is Alchemize Gaming bringing you more Call of Duty content for 2019, and in today's video I'm going to give you my first initial thoughts now that I've had almost a month to play Modern Warfare. I'm going to give you my initial thoughts about the game. We're going to talk through how the release went, the campaign modes, multiplayer, ground war, other multiplayer modes, my favourite weapons, the best streaks, and the gaming style and how that's changed with the release of the latest game. So jumping right in to the release, it went quite well, to be fair. I pre-ordered the game, it downloaded no problem, I'd pre-downloaded it. There were a couple of updates. Immediately after the launch of the game. Didn't have much of a problem, in all honesty, getting into the servers. The blueprints that were to be made available for those who'd pre-ordered the game, they were all there, so were the custom skins. So the release went quite well, and I think it went well for everyone. The cross-platform play seemed to work okay. So all in all, it seemed like it was a good release. The campaign modes is short, but has some really, really intense action and some very, very kind of far-out storylines, some of them a little bit controversial. I like the playing style of the campaign. I think it's a return to the tenser style of previous Modern Warfare or Call of Duty releases, so that was really, really welcome. Definitely have enjoyed the campaign modes. The multiplayer mode is split into various different categories, taking a look at the kind of traditional multiplayer objective games. Some of the modes are very, very imbalanced in terms of the teams and in terms of people not understanding the change that's required to your playing style in this latest release of the game, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit more detail in a minute. So invariably a lot of the maps end up very, very campy. If you're not in a particularly good mood when you go on to play the game, then you're really going to struggle with it. There's a lot of just bitching and moaning, and I've probably been at the forefront of it sometimes when I'm online. The goal to win in most of the objective games seems to be camp your opponent's spawn, because if you don't camp theirs, they'll camp yours, and then you'll probably lose the game. Where I've found the game at its absolute best is where there's actually been some openness to get around the map and to explore the map and to find new areas. I'm finding that the layout of the maps is really forcing everybody into 2 or 3 of the same choke points every game. I think it's something that they do need to fix. So that's my thoughts on multiplayer. There's lots of variation available in multiplayer. There's hardcore and standard modes. There's a lot of tweaks to other multiplayer modes that are available. There's a night vision, which is interesting. I don't think they bring anything startlingly new to the genre, but they're not bad modes. Overall, the multiplayer is really enjoyable. They just need to tweak the amount of kill points on the maps, and they also need to tweak, or maybe they don't, okay, so let's come on and talk about that. Maybe they don't need to tweak that. Maybe it's those who are playing the game that need to tweak the way they're playing. It took me only a couple of days to realise, look, this is not Black Ops 4. You cannot run and gun and get so many kill streaks, certainly not in more of the hardcore modes. You need to use what the game is pointing you towards, which is moving from cover to cover, using the ability to hunker down into the cover, to peek round corners and things like that. And if you use that, you can have some success with it. To move in shorter bursts and then stay in the area where you arrive after a few seconds of running, clear that area out and move on and just be aware of your surroundings at all times. That's all good and well when everybody in the team's doing it, but what you'll find is if you're on with randoms in the multiplayer game, it's actually a real struggle, because some people will just run and gun and they will take 30 deaths in the game. The score only goes up to 75. You'll have one person in the team taking 30 deaths. When that happens, your opponents are bringing in the kill streaks and score streaks, and when that happens, it doesn't really matter how good you are yourself. You're at the behest of your teammate who will not stop dying. So that's a bit of an issue. Guns and weapons that I've been using so far that I've enjoyed. The AUG, I'm almost about to complete the AUG in totality, so that I'll unlock whatever the special camo is. And that's been really interesting. I quite like the leveling up system for the guns. It doesn't feel particularly rewarding But it's quite interesting to see the different variations on the camo, to see all the different sights and figuring out which ones work and which ones don't work. So I've enjoyed using the AUG, I've also been using the Odin, and trying to use that more like a silenced hybrid kind of sniper rifle, even though it's only an assault rifle. And that gave me a lot of success after a couple of initial days of frustration, where I felt, okay, running and gunning isn't working, so I'm going to have to hunker down here and try and get some kills. I've got my win-loss records up to about 175, and I think my KD is sitting at something like 1.22 or something right now. My score per minute is fairly low, and it's something that, now that I'm feeling settled into the game and I've learned a little bit more about the gameplay and the maps, I'm liking it a little bit more, and I'm getting around the maps a little bit more, and I'm getting the kills now as well. So it is balancing out after quite an initially unsettling orientation period with the game, is what I would say. The streaks are quite interesting. There's nothing really groundbreaking or new. You have to put the counter UAV over a certain area of the map for it to be effective. Some of the streaks feel overpowered and some feel underpowered. The cruise missile is very hard to control. The sentry gun seems to get very little kills. I mean, it's really not doing much. The Wilson, on the other hand, is a terrific streak because it allows you to go into the spawn where you will find that a lot of your enemies are going to be camping in and just clean them out of there. That's really satisfying when you can do that. Chopper gunner is really good. So there are some worthwhile streaks in the game. Back to a little bit more about the gaming style. I think it's really important for all kind of multiplayer players to really get on board with embracing the new style of the game, because you just can't run and gun like Rambo running about taking 30 deaths and costing your team every game. It's just really frustrating to play. All you can really do is just like put people onto block and hope that you don't appear back in games with them, or party up. The problem with partying up can be if the people in your party are getting annihilated, then obviously you've got a little bit of a problem. So it's challenging, but people really need to embrace the new style of the game and probably run out less. And it's very hard to encourage people to do that, because a lot of people, myself included sometimes, I have to say, just want to play the game and have fun. They don't want to have to go through all this, okay, I can only move like 6 steps and then I need to get behind cover, then I need to check 13 points on the map before I can move again. Actually, I did that and someone snuck up behind me anyway because my teammate wasn't watching my back. There's just so many kind of things like that happening in the game. I'm really enjoying it. I think there's a lot of scope for the game to improve. I think there's a lot of tweaks that can be made. I think going back to launch, there were definitely issues with parties, party chat, the game resetting your Xbox overheating, just bits and pieces. They've fixed some of that. Some of it isn't still quite as good as it could be. Some of the spawn time is a little bit long. Some of the spawns aren't working properly, so I think they need to tweak that. But really, if it was me, I would return to some more 3-lane maps and really allow people that freedom to kind of get out and really have confidence when they're looking around the map, that if they move, they're not going to be shot from like 15 different directions. I've saw some very funny Twitter and YouTube videos of, you know, people camping for like 2 minutes and the coast is completely clear, and as soon as they take one step out into the map, there's like bullets coming from 5 different directions that hit them all at the same time. I thought that was a really good summation of what the game is like so far. But it's got a lot of enjoyable points to it. It's got a lot more realism. The maps do look quite pretty. The campaign mode was too short, but it was really good. That was a real kind of true return to form for the franchise. So guys, that's all I've got for you. I hope you've enjoyed the footage. It's been from various games that I've played over the last little while. Thanks for watching. I'll be aiming to bring a video every week now that I've bedded into the game a little bit. Take care. Peace.